Welcome back, everyone, to another Major Money. And today we're going to do, for the very first Sunday night football game of the season, we're going to do my three favorite bets for Sunday night football. You can see I already got some queued up right here, so you're going to get a little spoiler. But also of note, Caleb Williams, first pick, free square every single week of September. So he might not have had a great game today, but one, he got the win. So shout out to him, first number one pick to win his game in like 20 years. So that's a big accomplishment. But also, he did get 1 yard. So he hit that free square, super easy cash. We do not need to sweat anything like that again. So let's get another free square next week. So be looking for pairs throughout this week for your free square. Then remember, use code 5, FIVE. You will get a free $50 after you use a $5 bet. So $5 instantly turn into 50 with a $5 bet. Plus, you can use that on your Caleb Williams free square. Then that's at least 65, let's say, if you hit your other pair prop. And as I'm talking, it looks like they might have removed a lot of my picks. Let's see today. So first one, we were going to go passing yards, and they did remove it. Oof, that must mean a lot of people like it. So I have Matthew Stafford over on passing yards. I don't know about his demon here. His demon is a little interesting. 324. I can very much see him hitting it, but as with anything, you never know. It's first game of the season. We've had some surprises today. Detroit's not supposed to have a great defense, though, so we will see there. And as my prize picks just completely went out, that is crazy. They just don't want me to promote the Matthew Stafford picks right here. Let's see if I can get this figured out. There we go. We're back. Oh, and Matthew Stafford's back too. All right, so we can do the over 272.5 passing yards. Matthew Stafford. This is all last year, so the last five don't really mean too much. There's a lot of change, but he has two elite receivers. He has a really good tight end, and to keep up with Detroit, I suspect they will have to throw the ball a lot, similar to what they were doing last year. And look, last year, 367, consistently over 300. It just went away again. They really don't like me right now. But there it is. And there's the Caleb Williams free square for next week, too. We'll get that in there before it tries to shut me out again. Next, we're going to go to receiving yards. So I'm going to pick a quarterback, a wide receiver, and a running back. We're going to do one of the best wide receivers and very underrated wide receivers. We're going to do over 87.5 receiving yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown, best receiver and one of the most explosive putting up offenses with a quarterback that loves throwing it, that puts up a lot of stats. I really like this combination right here. Amon-Ra St. Brown. If you didn't learn about him last year, you're going to learn about him this year. He's going to be absolutely dominant, and I think the Rams are a good place to start. I think they want to put on a show. Detroit wants to let everyone know it wasn't a fluke, and they are going to put on a show today. So Amon-Ra St. Brown over 87.5 receiving yards. Then for our running back, we're going to go back to the Rams. Kyren Williams, 60.5 rushing yards. Once again, has hit 5 of 5, but that was all last year. Detroit, 61. So if you even want to take that into consideration, he just barely hit it last time. I think he's a very underrated running back. I'd not be surprised if he runs off a pretty big run. Like I said, similar with Stafford, I do not think the Detroit Lions will have a good defense this year. So he could have very easily a 20-yard run and then just chip in from then on out. And as you can see, they did surprisingly use him as a workhorse for a good part of the season. So he could put up a lot of numbers. I do not have any concerns with Stafford hitting his passing numbers as well as Kyren hitting his rushing numbers. I think there are going to be a ton of points, and a ton of yards to go around for almost any player here. So on the ones that look a little bit lower for trends, I mean, you could maybe even get a 6-man out of this game. I think it's going to be probably the highest scoring game of the week. Both good offenses with a lot of really talented players. You could go with almost any receiver, starting receiver, and like their prop, you could go with either of the starting running backs, either of the quarterbacks. So if you just want to go for a 6-man there and try to hit a big, I think this is probably the best game of the week to do that. But like I said, we'll see. I like these 3 props. So Kyren Williams over rushing yards. Receiving yards, I'm going to go Amon-Ra St. Brown over 87.5. And then passing yards, Matthew Stafford over 272.5. You still got about 14 minutes to get your picks in. And don't forget about the Caleb Williams free square. If there's one that you love in tonight's game that you're willing to wait a whole week for it to cash, you can use that Caleb Williams free square. And then remember, new member offer, use code FIVE to get $50 free after a $5 bet. So Prize Picks is being real generous. We got Taco Tuesday coming up on Tuesdays, our discounts. You have a lot of things that you can play with that free $50. Caleb Williams, Taco Tuesdays. Get out your picks and let's make some money. So we'll see y'all next time. Hopefully I go 3-0 today. We're still looking for our first 3-0 major money. So let's make some money tonight and let's enjoy some football. So glad football's back. Let's go Prize Picks and keep getting us some money. Take some from them.